Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our wrestling podcast, Getting Over. I'm joined by Paul Williams and Stuart Woodmansey to discuss the wrestling that's been going on, some of the shows that Stu's been to see recently, and to preview the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is this Sunday. So check out what our predictions are. We have a little guest that joins us so far through in Mr. Panas. And yeah, see what we think's going to happen at pay-per-view. So here we go. This is Cookiecast Getting Over.
Ready?
Covered in piss.
That's flashing. That's flashing. That's on my crotch.
You wish you'd be leg up enough to say it's flashing then.
Wee! Ew.
Right, I'm going
We're locked and loaded.
to make noises.
The finger is pointing once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to Cookiecast Presents Getting Over.
Yeah, boy.
Here-
Did you like? Sorry, I'm interrupting. You finish up, and I'll interject.
Here to talk all things wrestling once again.
Wrestling.
Did you like my Easter egg
What? As in the
football one?
in the bonus football one where you were like, "Oh, James, do you want to do the intro? Because you don't get to do it every time because Paul's stealing it from you." I was like, "Absolutely not."
I seem to
No,
remember.
the Easter egg where I was like, we've sacked Paul because he wasn't getting over with the crowd.
Oh, totally did not pick on that.
That was a
whatsoever.
little tip. There's one for you, Paul. And leave one for Stu.
Well, I seem to remember last time it was we're sharing it around, and I ended up getting pointed at last time. So next time it's your go. So there we are. Oh yeah, there you go.
If I need to know in advance because I'll need like pyros and stuff. So
You're not Brock Lesnar.
So yeah, we've last time you joined us, we talked about what happened at WrestleMania. So we don't need to cover that this time. There's a little bit to talk about what's happened between then and Money in the Bank, which is coming up this Sunday, and a little trip that myself and Mr. Moore had to that there London to see some British wrestling as
Big Smoke.
the Big Smoke, and we ended up in the lovely part of London that is surrounding Alexandra Palace.
Now that must be North London.
Yes, because the hotel that we stayed in was spitting distance to White Hart Lane.
Because you always go past it on the train into King's Cross.
Whoa, you don't go past White Hart Lane on the way into King's Cross.
No. As in, I meant Ali Pali.
Oh, you on the
You can see it if you're looking backwards. You can see it as you go past it.
as most people tend to.
For some reason, I've always noticed that.
You drive right past the Emirates, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't
Because
drive, you go on the train.
You can see, you go literally like right next to the Emirates, and if you look correctly, you can see what used to be Highbury, or
Well,
the listed building that was.
Let's begin with the story of the trip then. If you like.
Oh dear.
So, no, not at all.
Oh, dear.
On the note of the stadium thing, stood outside. Have you ever been to Ali Pali?
No.
Have you ever been?
No.
It's on a hill, and you get a really good view over the city, like the whole thing. And one of the things that you can see really clearly is the brand new Spurs.
Spuds Stadium, as
Yeah.
Matt would have called it.
But you're thinking like nowadays, all these like mega stadiums that have been built and all the seats, and they've done a cracking job. If you're not looking for it, you'd miss it. You can't.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really cool. Unfortunately, nothing was on at the time we were going because we could have gone for a pint of beer that's brewed in the ground.
I'm sure I mentioned this
We're
in
very
one of the
into
football
football.
podcasts, that it's got a microbrewery inside the stadium. So all the beer, well, not all the beer, but all the Beavertown beer that's sold in the stadium will be brewed within the stadium, which is pretty cool because that means it's going to be fresh.
Mm.
It's going to be, pretty. I mean, Beavertown's beers it's good anyway, but
Can't imagine that'll be expensive.
it's not. It's
They've been taken over in part by Heineken as well, so their overheads have been reduced drastically.
So when I had a look at the pricing list, it might have just been for the first game, but I'm pretty sure a pint of lager was £4.
By London prices.
By London prices, that's probably cheaper than most bars.
It was that's cheaper than it was at Ali Pali for the wrestling. So yeah. So we made the trip down with the other NFL podcast alumni member James Forrester Gray.
The JFG.
Really?
Yeah. So we went down.
He does exist.
He
is real.
He's
as is Matt.
Boy. Yeah.
It's not just me putting on a funny accent.
Well, James and Matt got me into Progress to begin with because obviously we all liked wrestling. James and Matt started going and they're like, right, you should come. So I went along with them, and given today's kind of WWE and like the PG kind of element of it, it was nice to go back to something like Progress because it's an over 18s thing.
Right.
So
when you said a PG element, does that stand for pretty gruesome?
No. Well, it definitely did this weekend. This on Super Strong Style weekend, but we'll get to that.
No, I mean as in WWE because it's pretty bad at the minute.
Yeah, it is and it isn't. It serves its purpose.
Tough sledding.
For a certain, this week's Raw was particularly tough.
And it was in the UK.
But yeah,
which we'll come to at some point.
So we went down. This essentially is the WrestleMania weekend of Progress Wrestling. It started off small. It's now grown and grown. So it's over May Bank Holiday, beginning or end, depending how it falls. And it's a singles tournament. 16 people go in. The winner gets a Progress title shot, and they can normally name their shot as to when it's going to be.
So it's a bit Money in the Bank-esque.
It is, except for they can't just rock up and go now.
Right, okay.
It's arranged in advance. So we'd spoken last time about some of the entrants. Some we knew, some we didn't. So it was good because there was a whole host of new wrestlers that we'd never seen before, some that we'd never heard before. And not only did we get to sort of see them in action, but it was really, the whole weekend was really fan friendly. By the end of, not even the end of, by about 10 minutes into the second day, I bought a poster, as Matt did as well, which had all the entrants for the tournament on it. 10 minutes into the second day, we'd met all of them. It was all signed up, looking pretty good. So yeah, it was just really cool. Some of the matches, you're thinking, Jesus Christ, it's a 16-man knockout tournament, and they're cracking it out in 3 days. It started at 4 o'clock and finished between 8 and 9, I think, on most of the 3 days. So there was a lot of wrestling to get through. At no point through the entire weekend did I think, this is boring. The whole weekend was an experience, and like each match was very different. There was some comedy stuff in there. There's Trevor Lee, who's an NXT guy, who previously was in Impact. Mm-hmm. Not really done much with NXT yet. It felt like it was like a trip to kind of maybe broaden his character somewhat. He was trying to play the heel on the second day. Comes out with the old swagger, bottle of water, sipping the water, just talking to people like you'd expect a heel to. Just really like casually throws the bottle. Bottle did a perfect loop-the-loop and landed like stood up, and everybody was like, yeah, we can't boo this guy now. just cheering. So he kind of that was kind of a funny point of it.
And the bottle was open?
No, he put the lid back on.
Okay.
And he'd just like thrown it, and it just went over the top rope and landed on the ring apron.
That is pretty
perfectly
cool.
Stood up.
It's like the kid who did it in like his school talent show. That's where the meme started from, didn't it? Well, I don't think it was a meme. It was just a clip, wasn't it?
It kind of took away from the fact that he then got absolutely smashed by Ilya Dragunov in about 3 minutes, which was great in itself. There was some really good matches over the weekend. I think the first 2 days up to now are available on Progress On Demand, so if anyone wants to go back and watch it, highly recommend it. Particularly from day 2, the Jordan Devlin versus Kyle Fletcher match. Just one word for that, headbutt. Just watch it. Unreal. There will be a few spoilers going forward from this point, so if you do want to watch it and not know what happens, maybe just fast forward the next 2 or 3 minutes.
What? Pause, watch, revisit.
Yeah, but you could fast forward the next 2 or 3 minutes and then just come back and listen to the whole thing again.
This guy.
2 listens.
2 listen. Yeah, absolutely. Do that.
Double dipping.
Double dipping. Wow.
One of the favourites for the tournament did end up winning.
Oh, okay.
Much to Matt.
Yeah, that's a point actually. I don't think you actually put in the group who won it.
Well, you might want to watch it, and I'm going to spoil it now.
I think the likelihood of me watching it is very small.
You should.
I don't have the on-demand stuff. That's the thing.
You get a month free out of it at some point when they do,
That's true,
do
yeah,
the trial. But yeah, it was won by independent David Starr. He's very, very good.
As in Matt's favourite wrestler. David
Matt's
Starr.
favourite wrestler.
Everyone's favourite wrestler.
Everyone's.
Your favourite wrestler's favourite wrestler.
Let's not go through the full list of nicknames again.
That took us about 45 minutes, didn't it?
But to add to the list of nicknames, you can now add Super Strong Style 16, 2019 winner. So at some point we've got a title match to come, presumably between David Starr and Volta, which will be an absolute belter. Other highlights, absolute chop fest. Other highlights from the weekend would definitely have been the title unification match, which was on the second day, Volta versus Trent Seven. Oh my god. Big lads wrestling for sure, but big lads that can definitely wrestle. It was really, really good.
Trent's lost a lot of weight though, hasn't he? He's nowhere near the size he was when he first got signed to NXT and stuff like that. Well, not signed to NXT, but you know what I mean.
The first person that we bumped into on the second day was Trent Seven, so we had a little bit of a chat with him in the afternoon before the match took place. It was weird really, because like when you kind of go up and meet these people, because you know there's the whole kind of kayfabe kind of element of it, you still kind of find yourself saying good luck for your match and stuff, even though anyway, it was really cool about it. It was
but I mean like you can still wish someone good luck and like, you know, don't get injured, sort of, you know, enjoy yourself while you're out there, because even though we know it's like, we know it's predetermined, so they can still have fun and they can still, you know, enjoy themselves. Well, what is essentially their job, it was craft and stuff like that. So
it was great. Again, I'd recommend going back and watching that. Volta has now unified both the Atlas and the Progress World title.
I think that was always going to happen, though, wasn't it?
I was undecided, because part of me felt like it was going to be, is the UK champ maybe he's off on his way? Are they going to then give it to Trent to carry? Turns out it didn't go that way. Volta is now the champ, to quote a certain Irish lass kicker, or the man.
Seth Rollins is a bit on the side.
Yeah, that was released this week, wasn't it, as well?
It was.
So, day 3 we saw Jimmy Havoc's final Progress match.
For fuck's sake.
Which I knew Paul might have that
Has
reaction.
he signed with AEW?
Yeah, he was signed with AEW before.
That's why it's his last Progress match.
Yeah,
okay.
it was advertised before that he would be having his last Progress match on the Monday, but the person that he was having that match with wasn't advertised. As the tournament progressed, when we were talking about it down there, it was like, is it going to be somebody that they're bringing as a surprise? Is it going to be somebody that gets knocked out of the tournament? During the tournament, Paul Robinson, who, not the goalkeeper before that comes out.
Not the Neighbours.
Not the guy from Neighbours.
With the one leg.
Haven't we done this before?
I think we did this the last podcast.
Just have a little look at a picture of Paul Robinson, the goalkeeper / and/or Neighbours, and then look at this guy.
Is he a bit of a beast?
No, he's a tiny little, like, scrawny. There is no body fat on this guy, but you know, like if you met a Millwall fan that had actually spent time in the gym.
Careful.
That's
careful.
Like, basically, he's like.
Hang on, Paul Robinson used to play for Millwall. Is it him?
It's not him.
Oh, for God's sake.
He's just this ratty little man that everybody loves to hate.
That's him. That's not Paul Robinson.
But I'm pretty sure would rip your face off in an instant.
More than likely. Well, to be honest, let's put it this way. I'd go as far as to say 95% of the wrestling community could probably rip a person's face off.
Well, he's had a storied history with Jimmy Havoc.
The law.
And he got knocked out of Super Strong Style, the tournament element of it. So it was decided that Jimmy Havoc's last ever Progress match on the Monday would be against Paul Robinson to settle the score, because the main rivalry was settled on an even keel. wanted to tip it one way or the other. But of course, the rivalry was heavily based in deathmatch wrestling.
Of course it was.
So Jimmy Havoc's specialty is going out doing what he's best known for. To say it was an uncomfortable watch is probably an understatement. If you like that kind of thing, then you'll love it. It's definitely not my cup of tea.
I just can't get my head around it. I understand like ECW had that sort of, it found that sort of niche back when it like first came around as like that. But whenever I remember when you got hold of a video. Again,
not one of those, ladies and gentlemen.
Not one of those. But I remember it was around the time when you were still living in York. It was when you were still. You might have been at Oakville Street. If that was even
just give away all my addresses on the
podcast.
Yeah,
exactly.
You were at this address, not like the address you're at now, which is.
It must not have been too long after WrestleMania 21, and I can't remember who it was that had given it to you, but it was a mate of yours, or it might have even been someone's partner, had given you this tape, and we tried to watch some of it, and it was like, have they taken the ropes off? And is that yeah, not interested. So like ECW used to do matches where they replaced the ropes with barbed wire.
Nah, good thing.
And then so Mick Foley did a couple of matches like that, and Mick Foley used to do a thing where he'd run when it was regular ropes. He used to call it something like the hangman or something like that.
Basically, his head would go between the top and middle rope, and then he would go over, so it kind of the ropes twisted and it'd be round his neck.
And he did that with the barbed wire. I was like, no,
that's how he lost his ear, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not surprised, but no.
It was an interesting one to be there for in person, because it was kind of sad that it was Jimmy Havoc's last ever Progress match, because he's their longest reigning champion. He's been a big part of Progress, so it was cool to be there for his last match. When that match closed the first half of the show on the Monday, they then had about 25 minutes, half an hour to clean up. Me and Matt had to leave the main room where it was because so many light tubes were broken. The ring crew were wearing dust masks, because you know them like tube things, it's full of like all sorts of poisonous shit in it. Mm-hmm. There was tables that had that duct tape too, so when they went through the table, like there was like about 8 light tubes that were then shattered. Jimmy Havoc at one point picked up the end of the light tube that was broken and was just chewing it. Actually bit the end off it and was chewing it.
Why?
I have no idea. It made for a good spectacle. But
just
so
bizarre.
The first half finishes. Coincidentally, Paul Robinson won that match, so Jimmy Havoc went out putting the other guy over.
Should be how he does it. I mean, that should be the way it works.
Jim Smallman, one of the owners of Progress, who does all the ring introductions and everything, had to have his microphone cleaned because Jimmy Havoc gave a leave-in speech. And the first thing that he said when he came out was, a small piece of Jimmy Havoc will be forever with Progress because there is now blood inside my microphone. That's it. Paul Robinson, after that match finished, went straight to the merch table. Obviously, gonna make the cha-ching.
Gonna make the dollar, y'all.
Jimmy Havoc had a pint, went to hospital.
Not surprised. He probably lost a couple of pints during the fucking match.
Like I say, it was cool to be there for his last match. It's sad that he's not going to be there because, aside from all the deathmatch stuff, he can actually wrestle, which is probably why AEW have picked him up.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he just does the wrestling, but I can't see him doing that.
I don't know. It depends what direction AEW are going to go.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it all built to the final, which was between Jordan Devlin and David Starr. And that the place just went nuts when David Starr won. He gave a really cool sort of almost like acceptance speech at the end as well about how not just him, but there are certain independent wrestlers that don't have to rely on the bigger names, and it was good that they had Progress and other companies like that to kind of do what they do. But yeah, it was just really good. There was also another farewell. There was Ginny, former Progress Women's Champion, had her last Progress match because she signed for NXT UK, so that's her out the door now as well. So it almost felt like the end of a couple of chapters and a new beginning now for Progress, because
I thought Progress had the working relationship with them.
They do, but there are also certain people who, like Pete Dunne, like Tyler Bate, that are NXT UK exclusive.
Right, okay.
So there are people like Devlin who'll continue to work with them whilst he's on there, but those guys have signed exclusive contracts, so they're out the door for good.
I got you.
As a whole, definitely recommend it. Would definitely love to go back. And was really grumpy travelling on Tuesday when I was on my way home, realising that was the end of it. It was a really cool weekend, really good experience. I definitely want to do it again. The one bit that I've not discussed, if you're keeping score from last time, Kaiju. So this was Saturday night entertainment.
This is where Andrew tags back in.
Like Kaiju, kind of tying with the monsters and all the rest of it. Is it generally that you find that you're watching it and have no fucking clue what's going on?
Pretty much.
This was hands down the weirdest thing I've ever been a party to. It was just bizarre. Aussie Open, Cal Fletcher and Mark Davis from the current Progress Tag Team Champions made an appearance in the Kaiju storyline as sexy policemen.
Of course they did.
Bit weird.
Why wouldn't they?
At one point we had an octopus fighting a dust bunny.
So, is it a series of matches or was it a battle royal?
No, it's a series of matches where they try and tell some sort of story, but I think, like, if you actually want to understand the story, you've got to get shit-faced, then take a shit ton of drugs, then decide that you want to go watch the wrestling, and then still probably have no fucking clue what happened at the end of it. It was just bizarre.
It's like that bit in Big Daddy when he just goes, when there was the something error. Yeah, well, for me it was the doing mushrooms error.
It was an
like everyone in
experience.
Denver.
I'm glad that we went to see it because it was part of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go again,
if you had to pick one thing in particular that was the weirdest, was there the big panda again? That just sort of like bitch slapped the girl off the top row.
Not that I remember. There was characters such as Double Dark Unicorn, which was somebody in a purple.
That sounds like it's going to be so racist.
A purple jumpsuit.
Was it you?
They didn't have a
You do love purple.
There was no purple tie involved.
Oh, boo!
I've listened. And they were wearing like a motorbike helmet, so it was kind of like the woman off the Zavirax advert with unicorn horns. That's how I can describe it.
That's the best description I've ever heard. The woman off the Zavirax. That advert has got to be 20 years old.
But you all knew what I meant.
Exactly.
We did. But yeah, it had like 2 unicorn horns on the helmet, hence double unicorn dark. Because, yeah. Why wouldn't it be called that?
That's not the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, it was weird.
I thought it was going to be a man with the helmet on, but with like one unicorn horn, and you're left to, make the rest of it up yourself.
That would have been funny.
Of the whole weekend, like I say, it was worth going as part of it. If we go again, I might maybe choose to use that time to go out in London somewhere else.
Well, how long was that?
It's a couple of hours, I think it was.
Oh, right, so it wasn't just like thrown in the middle of the show?
No, it was its own thing.
Oh.
Separately ticketed. You had to leave the building to come back into the building.
Right.
But yeah, it was an experience. But if you're going to go and you've never seen it before, I'd recommend probably going still. Now I've seen it, I had no idea what was happening for the whole 2 hours. Well, let's just go to the pub next time. So yeah, that was our weekend. It was definitely a trip to remember. And also as well, I had my own kind of almost death match on the train on the way home from Newcastle after we'd gone back up to Matt's. Because I'd been sat in first class on the train because I'm a posh bastard. And 20 seconds into that train journey, a woman knocked a full cup of tea down me. So the guy on the train was... the woman was very apologetic. I did my best to not call her a fucking moron for the next 2 hours. So that was nice.
Full cup of tea.
Yeah.
Piping hot?
Yeah.
Oh, piping hot.
Burn on my leg for like a couple of days afterwards to
nice.
remind me of that fact.
just like peeling the scab off.
On the plus side, though, I had just been away for a few days and had clothes with me, so at least I could go and get changed and didn't have to go.
Paul knows nothing of getting covered in boiling hot water in any way, shape, or form. Is that right, Paul?
Andy was clearing his cup at work this morning.
I thought that was just how you chose to spend your weekend. And you got covered, did you?
Well, he does that thing where he fills it with piping hot water to obviously like sterilise, blah blah blah. And then shakes it, and he didn't quite cover it well enough, and it basically just went because obviously the heat inside caused the top to burst off, and it just was like landed on my ample stomach, and I was like, ah!
I thought you were going to tell us that it landed in your groin then, so you had to look like you pissed yourself.
You'd have thought he'd been shot. I was like, fucking hell, it's like JFK. And I was like, Jesus.
No,
I'm like...
No, it's like JFK. No apology. just the...
Pretty sure the guy didn't apologise for that either when it happened, but...
Ball bag.
Too soon.
Fucking ball bag.
So moving on then.
Anyway, yes.
Let's get to some money in the bank.
Money
MITB. Third best pay-per-view of the year?
No.
Really?
Not for me. I like the concept of it. It depends how they do it. It depends what they want to do with it. But it is kind of cool and it is exciting. But I'd stick Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam for me. My favourite three. Survivor Series used to be, but it's kind of died a death in.
But it always used to be Royal Rumble top, then WrestleMania,
then Survivor.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring was awesome. I think it's because King of the Ring was like one of my first big ones that I remember watching.
Because of Brett?
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance they could bring that back this year, but as the woman's pay-per-view.
Queen of the Ring?
I'd like to think they're a bit more imaginative and go with something different.
Princess.
Anyway, we've got a whole host of matches to come this Sunday.
A whole mess of matches.
And
no guest predictions this week.
No guest predictions, and unfortunately no Mr. Moore either. He's predisposed this evening, so Matt has assured me he will get his predictions to me, so hopefully we will add those to
on camera now, Matt.
Yeah, it's recorded.
So you have to.
Just for your benefit, as always, Paul. May the 19th from the XL Centre in Hartford, Connecticut. So it is in the motherland really this time because it's right near headquarters.
That really is WWE Central. That.
And it starts at 7 PM Eastern time. There you go.
Do you happen to know what the weather will be?
I'm waiting for it. Go on, Paul. It's inside.
It's indoors. It
doesn't matter.
Unless it's a climate controlled building or something like that, which I'm assuming it is because it's America. And they fucking love aircon over there. You'll both know that from having been to America.
The irony being is that, they need the aircon because it's so warm, but, the air conditioning that's killing the planet, so...
Little from Gary.
Just ask Mr. Trump. It's not real anyway. It's like the wrestling. It's not real.
I don't know what you're talking about. Wind turbines, the sound of a wind turbine gives you cancer.
What doesn't give you cancer these days?
Cancer.
I think that is the strangest link between the beginning of talking about a pay-per-view to where we could possibly go. We've had Raw and SmackDown in the UK this week.
I was confused by it because I thought it was last week they were over here.
They started the tour, but I think they've been in Europe as well. Weirdly, Raw happened on Monday, then a lot of the guys from Raw went to Paris, and then are now in Birmingham. Obviously right near to each other.
I saw a thing.
Excellent.
They've announced something, a new rule about that means that they can go
wild card rule.
They can go
up
between
up to 3/4 superstars from Raw or SmackDown can go to the other show each week.
So last time we were here, we discussed the Superstar Superstar Shake-Up.
The Superstar Shin Pads.
The Superstar Shake-Up.
Calm down, Sean.
So...
Is he dead?
No.
He's not, is he? Sean
No.
Connery. He's not dead.
No, he retired, which seems to be like a weird thing. But he retired from acting.
Interesting.
Just like Gene Hackman.
Some might say if they're not a fan, they retired from acting a long time before that. But
Ooh.
anyway.
Whoopa.
So yeah, they had the Superstar shake-up where people would move from one brand to another.
Yep. Or officially just assigned a brand, like Lacey Evans, Lars Sullivan, etc.
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
So that happened,
Ricochet.
and then people decided that they weren't happy with the way it had gone. It seems like they've panicked a little bit and gone, shit, we need people on both now. So the whole point of having the Superstar shake-up...
can we have Roman on both, please?
Okay, Mr. Fox Network executive, yes we can. So they've decided now that the whole having the brand split is just irrelevant, because now, when the wildcard rule was announced, it was these 4 people from Raw and these 4 people from SmackDown. I'm pretty sure it's changed already to be different people. Maybe 4 in any one week, but not the original 4. So it's just like, what's the point in having the brand split now? So yeah, we've had that. It's created a few people pulling double duty in the weeks. I mean, the Miz is just everywhere, and his feud with Shane McMahon is still going.
Really?
Yep. So
Why?
As has been well documented all the way through this, we expected this to finish at WrestleMania.
This should have fizzled out a while ago.
Well, Shane has interjected. He's almost becoming his dad from many a year ago, and is now being like the heel McMahon.
I saw a comment on a video the other day that was like, somebody was commenting on the video saying, this video is just a representation of the whole company at the moment, because whilst ever Vince and the McMahons in general are interjecting themselves into the weekly stories and like all the stuff they said that they weren't going to do, the company just can't get away from that, and it's really bringing the whole thing down.
It's not. It's fair to say it's not in a great place at the moment, but it's at the moment for me. It's when I said earlier on about it serving a purpose. Well, that purpose is the sponsors right now. There are so many things that have happened where we're going to do this, and then they've gone the other way, and like Lars Sullivan this week will be a great example of that, because he is one of the guys where had a few misdemeanors, shall we say, on Twitter a few years ago, and of course now he's hit the big time. It's let's dredge through the past and see what we can find.
It's amazing how many people get caught by that, isn't it?
Basically, don't write anything on Twitter ever, and you should be fine.
Never tweet ever.
So some things were found that he'd said about particular sexual preferences, about a certain Stephanie McMahon at one point, and WWE seemed to be heading in the direction of, we're just going to ignore it. It was a long time ago. You're not that person anymore. It feels very much like the sponsors have got involved and said, hang on a minute, people keep dragging this up. And he's now been hit with the joint second highest fine in the history of the company, sitting at a cool $100,000.
Which in the grand scheme of things, not actually that much.
Well, it might be for him. It's his first you don't know what he's They were saying about the Revival being offered massive contracts of a guaranteed $500,000. Lars Sullivan isn't going to be on that kind of money.
I have said, and I've said this to you like back before there was a wrestling podcast that we did, way back in the depths of just talking about, I've always said, one of the things that strikes me the most about the whole, all of wrestling, is how little they get paid for the job they do.
The top people seem to earn like a lot of money.
But I don't
commission
consider that to be the case. I remember like talking about Brock Lesnar's contract and $5 million for 10 appearances or whatever, and it's like for the job that they do, for the strain and stuff that they put their body through, I'll always put them up against, they're at the top of their game. The Rock in his day, Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, people like that. They're at the top. So take that over to another sport like the NFL, and quarterbacks and running backs and stuff getting paid massive amounts more than that. Who's putting their bodies through more or less strain?
So how many weeks in the NFL season?
16, 17, I suppose.
So, obviously, you'll have training during those weeks.
Yeah.
They've still got to kind of stay fit during pre-season, though, really. To an extent.
I don't know, maybe if you ask Gronk about that, he might disagree. But other than that, yeah, I mean, they have to keep.
But then, like you're saying, compare that to the fact that as they like to wheel out, there is no off-season.
Yep.
They have to be fit.
52.
As has come out more recently, if they get injured during the contract, the company can then extend their contract automatically by the length of the amount of time that they miss.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole heap of things, and we could probably talk about the whole wrestlers' union issue.
That's probably a complete separate podcast on its own, right?
Yeah. So I guess we'll get back to Money in the Bank, and on that note, we are then joined by.
He's just arrived in time to give his predictions.
Wrestling pundit James Panas.
I've just been stood downstairs listening to you for about 5
Well, we
minutes.
heard the door,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Oh, food's here."
I heard the door and just assumed it was
You're going to take slices off me.
no.
Paul
Park yourself.
was just wondering what the food
Got a
situation
cushion.
was.
Of course he was. Paul doesn't eat food anymore though, he's not allowed, are you?
What?
Sorry, take-out food.
Takeout? Oh, we've gone over the pond, have we?
That's what we were told.
What is wrestling cast in it?
No, it was just whilst I was trying to get my finances in order, and they're in order, so I can do whatever I want. My mummy and daddy have said my pocket money's allowed now.
You're allowed.
By mummy and daddy,
you're
you
allowed
mean
to come
Amy?
out.
No, she doesn't control my money.
Just my thoughts and feelings.
Just everything I say and do. Oh God, she'll be so pissed off when she hears this.
I had
It's so
some
funny.
horrible vision of you just being a ventriloquist puppet then. It's the,
I've been warned like a printer. What?
what?
Huh?
Which actually, while we're on the note of
Hey, where's he going with this?
on the note of the ventriloquist dummy, we should probably talk a little bit.
No,
Oh.
no.
Is it too early for you with this or?
Well, I was going to bring it up. As
Off you go.
As you both know, but that video is creepy.
For those-
I don't think he's seen
I've
it.
not seen him yet.
You absolute knob. You need to. This is the guy who was just sat here no more than 5 minutes ago and said about WWE being in a bad place right now. This is the best thing they have put out in months, and you've not seen
I
it.
saw that he put out a tweet about the fact that there was something cryptic about.
His promos from years gone
Yes.
by. Right. So that started with there was a series of 8 promos that he did. I think it was 2015, and there was one sentence in each promo that he did that didn't fit with the rest of what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And when you then pull those out and put them back together again in the order that the original promos went out, it apparently spells or that like gives its own message. People have been going nuts online trying to find out what this is. I still don't think they've got a definitive answer as of this point, but apparently people are very close. But more recently, if for those that haven't seen, Bray Wyatt has made his return, bringing us the Firefly Funhouse. It is weird. It's creepy.
Yeah, it really is.
It's great compared to like what has been.
Is it wrong that when he's doing like the TV presenter side of it, that I quite like his outfit, like like he's done his hair, and he presents himself as TV presenter, but like the fact that he's surrounded by there's like the dead bird in the box, like the bird.
Is it a dead? Well, it's supposed to be a vulture.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, a buzzard. Sorry.
The Saw rip-off ventriloquist dummy in the window.
Well, that's Abby the Witch, which coming from his old persona, there was Sister Abigail was always talked about, which was kind of like almost like
that was always
power.
that was always rumored like for ages when it was going to be it was actually going to be a physical.
There were so many theories that have come out about like who it could be, if it's going to be real, but the fact that they've taken all of like the good parts of what was his old character and have kind of just slipped it in here and there into this new
slipped it in
into the new element.
Penis.
But that video was like super creepy. Like when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if at any point they've had to do a disclaimer at the beginning of the show to say,
nope.
If you've got kids,
I think they can get around it by saying it's
PG.
Yeah, it's PG, and it's like it's a. I can't think of the words. It's a work of fiction. It's
Put it this way, Sarah actually sat down to watch that part of Raw with me, and her actual words were, "I'm 34 years old, and I find that scary."
Yeah.
So
what's this new persona then?
It's not just that. It's not.
Is it supposed to be like even more psychologically weird?
But I love because he's constantly on this pendulum swing. So 1 minute he's like, "Hey kids, how are you? I'm creepy as fuck." He's literally what he's doing. He's literally what he's doing. He is just going, "Hey kids, let's talk about clowns and how they're serial killers."
Sarah genuinely was a little worried in the bits that she's seen that they were almost going to go down like some kind of weird creepy pedo kind of like way with it. It could have easily have swung that way, but how we build it on the latest episode of it was that he had a secret to share, and the secret is that he's always had this power, but now he's learned to harness it. And it keeps flashing up with these little gloves that he wears that say hate and heal on. And then the camera kind of turns and he's got this new outfit, and part of which is a mask.
So I was like, the mask in itself is like, I was proper like, where you can get one of them from? Add it to the collection.
Don't worry. That'll be on Euroshop within the next 6 minutes.
I was saying to Stu, I was like, it's very Slipknot. At which point Stu said,
"It's been designed by the guy who used to design
Corey Taylor." Right, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it has gone down that route, but it's been great. I can't wait to see where they go. I'm genuinely excited to see what comes of it, which probably leaves me up for a massive lot of disappointment, as we've discussed previously on these. But we'll see. I'm hopeful.
Vince McMahon in a mask in the middle of the ring, I imagine.
What I find particularly creepy about it is the side where they're like, "Hey, yeah, woo." When he's like quite animated and he's like saying that in a kind of child-friendly way, he then says the same kind of stuff, but in his like serial killer way, through the mask. And that instantly just makes it. The whole point of the transformation within the last vignette that they aired was he was reciting the words to "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," but in his like weirdo, like creepy voice. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I get the feeling I'm going to have to go back and watch these.
You need to watch the video.
James should be watching these.
I was trying to get it on the computer downstairs before you got here, so that we could just watch it again, because
it was. Did you see?
Proper creepy.
The one of the things where like he's got like the puppets, as we talked about, surrounding him. One of them's the buzzard. One of them is Rambling Rabbit. And on last week's episode, the buzzard just rips the rabbit to shreds.
Oh my god!
My favourite with the buzzard was like, he was like, "Yeah, can you hurry this up? I've got stuff to do."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Yeah, why not?"
There's people have had theories that I've been reading about it, and it's saying that each of the puppets represent a different element of his persona.
I think that sort of seemed to.
That would make sense.
Fairly sort of.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that. So, we should probably get back to Money in the Bank soon. We've tried, but we'll get there. A new match was added to the kickoff show of the SmackDown Tag Team titles, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan.
Wow.
The Planet's Champions.
Sorry.
Versus the Usos.
Sorry. That's been added to the...
Kickoff.
Daniel Bryan's gone from being the champion and in one of the main events at WrestleMania to being a kickoff show person.
Yes.
What the actual fuck?
Well, there is reasoning behind it, and they've had to change their plans drastically because the Hardys took the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Yes, I saw that.
Jeff Hardy's just had to have surgery on his knee, so they had to vacate the title. So they needed some top names to carry the tag division forward. That's who they've gone with.
I never know how I actually feel about vacating a title.
If you can't actually, I mean, like in a tag team, it'd be slightly easier to cover up because you just have Matt Hardy work the match, I suppose.
Because when you've legitimately won something, then there's that whole, well, it's yours, you won it, and to just give it away when somebody else gets the opportunity to win it and doesn't win it from you, there would always, in my eyes, be that question of, well...
But that's where they go with the story on the return of the injury, like from when they return from injury, because there's always the thing that we've talked about before about Finn Balor has never had the up until the Rumble, he'd never had the one-on-one chance to win the belt back that he never lost. So, because there's the storyline element, they can always bring that back. So so that was added to the kickoff. I'm assuming that everybody's favourite championship will also be defended on the kickoff show, because there's Tony Nese versus Ariya
he's
Daivari.
gone too quick. I was going to say, is it by any chance the Cruiserweight?
Yeah, the Cruiserweight title being defended by Tony Nese against
Sorry,
Ariya Daivari.
the kickoff weight title.
We've got a whole host of other matches, including the mentioned match before, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. This time, inside a steel cage. Pretty sure that.
Honestly, I know we've already had this conversation, but James can't throw.
Absolutely
Paul can't
nothing
catch.
That was definitely me with the claws.
I can't reach. There's a lot of can't in this room. Why are we still doing this?
Well, Shane's still giving it the whole best in the world thing,
Probably fuck off.
and The Miz is not.
It does seem a bit unnecessary.
It's just gone on for a little bit too long now. But the fact that it's the steel cage match, you would hope that'd be the end of it, but I just can't see it.
Right, how far out are we from Hell in the Cell?
Too far, because it's after SummerSlam.
Yeah. So there's no way they can keep it going for that long.
No.
Because they always have said that Hell in a Cell's the blow off to a feud.
Yeah. My theory is that it will probably continue past this point, but the longest they can go is SummerSlam.
You don't even then though. That would be
time.
over 6 months because it started February with the previous pay-per-view.
Well, it started when they brought them together as a tag team, really.
I suppose that was January-ish, probably in the end of the year.
So we've got that. We've got Roman Reigns versus Elias.
When was the last time Elias actually wrestled?
If you really want me to say, this last week.
Oh.
He's since the Superstar Shake-Up, he's been more active. Has actually had some matches on Raw.
Right, okay.
We've got a Universal title match, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles.
That could be an absolute barn burner.
Should be. WWE title match, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. Again, should be pretty good. Now, we've also got a US title match, which is a rematch from WrestleMania, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
Now, does that mean that Mysterio's fit again now?
You would hope so. And obviously, whatever story they were going to tell at WrestleMania should at least play out properly now. Mysterio's still got his son with him, Dominic, as well.
Yeah, I've not seen this, but I've seen clips of. I saw that James had he'd sent a picture of a tweet that someone had put out, and it was there was a storyline back when Eddie Guerrero, like just before he passed away. There was a storyline where it was him and Rey Mysterio were feuding, and then at the end of it, it became about the fact that Rey Mysterio wasn't Dominic's real dad, and that Eddie Guerrero was actually his dad. And someone had put something on Twitter about the fact that was Eddie trying to hide that Volta was Dominic's real dad?
He looks a lot like
He looks just like Volta.
Well, they almost referenced that this week because Cesaro said to him in the changing rooms, "You're like 5 foot. He's already like 6 foot something. Are you really his dad?" So it was. They used that as a bit of a story again this week. We've obviously got the men's and the women's Money in the Bank matches. But another pay-per-view has come around where the main story probably of the night is Becky Lynch. So she won at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. She is the current Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion.
Deuces.
Becky two belts. Yeah. I'm surprised they've gone with the Becky 2 belts thing, seeing as it's... Vince will always tell you that a belt holds your trousers up. It's a championship title if anybody asks. So she's got a match for the Raw Women's title and... she's got a match for the SmackDown Women's title. Yeah, cool.
Quarter half.
Yeah, quarter. So she's doing 2 matches in one night. The SmackDown Women's title is against Charlotte Flair. The Raw Women's title is against Lacey Evans. So, where do we want to start with the predictions? Should we go lower card again? Lower card?
Yeah. We'll go with so we could always start with have you got the pre-match stuff on there?
Yeah, the kick. I've managed to add that to it. So the kickoff, we'll go with the Cruiserweight and the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So, Tony Nese versus Arya Daivari. Anybody see the title changing hands here?
Shouldn't do. Way too soon.
I think it's way too soon as well. I'm expecting a Tony Nese clean sweep here, but I don't want to influence everyone.
For top banter, should we pretend that that's Matt?
Matt?
Will Matt be happy with this?
Matt, what's your prediction for this?
I wasn't listening.
If it helps, Tony Nese has got like an 8-pack.
Right.
The other guy...
And that's the other guy probably has like a 2-pack.
What's the other guy called?
Arya Daivari.
And you want me to give a prediction?
Absolutely.
Based on that?
Based on 8-pack or
Not 8-pack.
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
You know, Arya. Areola. Nipple boy.
Stop making a tit of yourself, Paul. Come on.
Wee.
You are Matt's prediction.
What's their attire?
Nice wears little pants.
Always good.
Arya Daivari wears little pants.
Right, okay, it's not really narrowing it down.
Well, they're both
That's
wrestlers. They both wear tights, as they class them.
Right, I'll go for 8-pack then.
Of course you are.
Okay. Guys,
Tony Nese.
he's getting involved. Come on.
The oh crap! I always forget what it's called. There's something athlete. No. Oh my God! What's his moniker?
Premier.
Premier athlete.
Premier in athlete.
The premier in athlete.
And ironically, his title
The
is
Premier
Purple
League.
as well. So, you know, he's on brand. He's on brand. Andy, have you got a pick for Tony Nese, Arya Daivari?
Nice.
Cool. Clean sweep then, boys. Next kick-off match, the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Planet's Tag Team Champions, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus the Usos. The Usos are part of the Superstar Shake-Up and technically should be on Raw.
I'll have Daniel Bryan and Rowan, please.
Are the Usos them ones that have the well cheesy grins?
The Rikishi's sons.
Are they not the ones that were on that wrestling Guess Who we were playing?
They were on it.
Looking faces.
Yeah, but I mean, that could have been any of them. They all had cheesy looking faces because they're wrestlers.
Right, okay. I'm going for them.
Wow, they've only just lost the belts. And now he's got him getting him back.
Is that not a thing?
Well, it absolutely is a thing, James. They can win it back. By the way, if you end up winning this for Matt, I'm not going to be happy.
I just for Matt's benefit, if he does listen to this back, I am keeping James's separate because Matt is still going to submit his scores.
Boo.
However, if he doesn't give me them before Sunday, they are null and void, and then he can take James's. Andy, have you got a tag team title victor in mind?
Are they still carrying around the blue titles?
For the time being, yes.
I think
Although the graphic on SmackDown this week, it looked like they changed it to like a blue material rather than leather, but they didn't actually come out with the titles on the show from my...
That'd be amazing if they do that.
It'll be another one I'll not buy.
It's got it.
I fancy the Usos, if I'm honest.
But what about winning the
James.
match?
Hey!
Let's go with the Usos
Is
then.
it because of their wonderful tattoos?
You know me.
Or is it because the other team includes Mr. Beardy Vegan himself?
Beardy weirdy.
He's clearly struggling, like handling two devices at the same time.
I just... until he drops this fucking vegan horse shit,
He's not even a vegan anymore.
Well, then he has dropped it then.
But
what we're gonna
storyline wise, he is.
For storyline purposes, he
yeah, until he drops
promotes
all
that
that...
he's like, eco
Until he drops all that
stuff.
fucking bollocks, he can...
So let's
Until he drops all that bollocks, he can fuck off. Excellent.
The pizza thing now, why was there two different prices for the egg for what appeared to be the same pizza?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to move on to the match that I probably care about the least next, which is Roman Reigns versus Elias.
Does anyone care about this match?
It's been billed because Elias was brought over to SmackDown as SmackDown's biggest
Signing
acquisition.
of all time is about, yeah.
And Roman Reigns obviously took umbrage with that matter.
Oh, yeah. Lions.
What are you going with? What are you thinking?
Have you
Stick
took
me down
it
for
off?
Elias.
Yep. I'm feeling like you're copying me here.
But if he'll win it shadily.
Yeah, I agree. I think because he's been essentially McMahon's enforcer. I think there'll be more to it than that. And because Roman Reigns and The Miz have sort of partnered up this week on Raw and SmackDown, there's probably going to be some interference from the Shane McMahon issue. James, Roman Reigns or Elias?
Well, I've heard of Roman Reigns, so purely based on that basis,
Him.
Andy?
It's Roman Reigns for me.
Is it again because he's got lovely tattoos?
I just don't think it. I don't think enough time has passed.
I would completely agree on that, but he's got to start losing matches soon.
He is, but I'm not sure now is the time.
I mean, he should have lost his match against McIntyre at Mania.
Let's be fair.
But
he wasn't going to.
If anybody's going to overstay their welcome because Vince McMahon wants to make them look good and in effect make them look bad, it is going to be Roman Reigns. Okay, so Shane versus The Miz in a steel cage. What are we thinking? Is The Miz going to finally put an end to it, or is Shane going to carry on?
This is a tough one, really.
I think there's some real difficult calls coming up in this.
Because, in theory, it should be the blow-off. But The Miz can't keep losing and move on to somebody else because it just makes him look weak as
It's
fuck.
been going on far too long, so they need to
Stick me down for The Miz.
Yep. Again, feel like you copied me. I have gone for The Miz as well.
It's the sort of thing where
Right.
Miz will probably end up winning, but then Shane will do something to sort of hamper his push later down the line in the next story. I don't know. It's weird as to how they'll... I imagine they'll end it, but they'll carry it on in another fashion.
Yeah, we'll take it just like...
As in, like, he'll have like he'll be fighting Shane's proxies all the way through or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically.
But Shane is the best in the world, allegedly.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Oh, that's something that I'm assuming will get brought up there in the thing. They're going back to Saudi Arabia.
So you had a notification about this at the end of the football, and it's like, but I mean that has just got, that's money, isn't it? That's just money.
Yeah, because Goldberg's coming out of retirement to fight The Undertaker.
That could be literally the worst 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, who's going to win?
No, like, why does anybody need to see this at this point?
They're both over 50.
Easily.
I was going to say, and then some. I would
Dude,
have thought, as far as the Undertaker's concerned,
Look at their faces and let me tell you that Paul Rudd is 50. They are well over 50.
The only matches Undertaker should be having these days is with someone who can carry the match for him because he
Which
can't.
isn't
Which is
Goldberg.
not Goldberg. It could be an absolute shitstorm.
I was going to bring this up with you guys separately, but I'm guessing that Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia probably at this point means that little that we might not even end up covering predictions
Probably
on it.
won't.
So
It'll just get drafted in with the next one that we do.
yeah, and even then it'll be probably a quick thing. Yeah. So Andy, what are you thinking? Miz, Shane, who you got?
Who you got?
I mean, I've noticed they really seem to be pushing the Miz recently.
They should be. I like the Miz. He's the sort of guy who, I've said this to you before. I don't think people would be annoyed or would bat an eyelid if they put the main title on him again.
No. Especially at the moment, because like I said, they're pushing him. They're really pushing him.
And he's guaranteed ratings for him because he's got his reality TV show that's on after SmackDown each week.
Convenient, isn't it?
It's that
It's
thing
convenient, James,
that
thanks.
he's been around a long time, and it's probably about the right time to push him and stuff. So put me down for Shane.
I see.
theory.
Andy's adopting the opposites principle again.
James, Shane or the Miz?
Shane.
Of course, he's going to go Shane. He's heard of him.
I've heard of that dude. He's on the wrestling.
I've heard of that
as well.
dude. He's on the
Miz.
wrestling.
He does
I've
the
heard of
wrestling.
him.
He does the
He
wrestling.
does the wrestling.
54.
They're both 54.
The Undertaker is 24th of March 1965.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know he was that old. I thought he was younger than that.
No.
Who are we looking at? Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Bill. Good old Bill. And then whilst we're doing this, then we'll move on to the WWE title match: Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens.
Kofi. Doesn't make any sense for him to lose it just yet. Build him. I imagine. See, like I said at the time, for me, he has to lose it either to or because of Big E.
Big E's got a few. He's going to be on the shelf for a few months, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So, if he's not ready right now, you just hold off and have him come back if he's fit to do so at SummerSlam.
It does feel very much, I think, like Kofi's going to keep it going forward from this match. But I do feel a bit sorry for Kevin Owens that he seems to be like the guy that uses the placeholder challenger.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
He's 18 months younger than The Undertaker.
Wow.
So yeah, both over 50 then. So, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, who are you taking, James?
Kofi Kingston, I've heard of him.
I like the way you're adopting these theories and your picks. It's refreshing.
Andy?
They've both got tattoos in this one, so you're a bit screwed.
I'm screwed, aren't
Kofi's just had some new ones as well. Did you see that?
I saw something about it, but I haven't actually seen the actual tattoos.
Because he's a high flyer, he's had wings tattooed on his ankles.
Oh dear. Is it in the bag?
No.
Oh.
I? Money in the bank.
He's trying to make an account. He goes, "You've already got an account. Press this to reset your password. Now check your email."
Oh my god.
No email.
Oh my god.
So, Kofi or Kevin
I'm
Owens?
going to be down there just bitch slapping the shit off stuff.
Put me down for Kevin Owens.
I'm trying to sort it.
Okay. What do you want to leave until last? Do you want to leave the Money in the Bank matches till last?
I think, well, given that it's the title
As it's
of the
Money in the
pay-per-view,
Bank pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right then, we'll go to the US title match: Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio.
I've used this principle all night for my picks. Doesn't make any sense for Joe to lose the title yet. Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Samoa Joe.
I'm going the opposite way on this.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm going Rey Mysterio because...
But are you going for him to win by DQ or something like that?
No, not even necessarily. Well, I don't care. A win's a win, Paul, for the points and the predictions. But they've brought Dominic in. They've done absolutely sack all with him as yet. So, to me, there's going to be some sort of title celebration possibly involving him. So,
Is he actually signed to a contract?
I don't know if he signed to a contract or if they've just got some sort of agreement whereby he can go to the PC and train. But it was mentioned this week again that he's been training with them, so we shall see. Andy, Samoa Joe.
I'm with you.
You're with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio all the way on that one.
I wonder who James will pick.
James, have you heard of Samoa Joe?
Maybe.
Have you heard of Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you therefore picking Rey Mysterio?
Of course it fucking is.
Whose address is that?
As you also say, in other news, water is indeed wet.
Absolutely no fucking idea.
Universal title
Well,
match
apparently I've ordered from here
is next
to that
on
address.
the list.
This, I mean,
should be the match of the night.
It
really.
should be. It should be.
Taking gimmick matches out of the equation.
Yeah.
Well, where is it? What's
I'm quite happy to say straight up, Seth Rollins is keeping this.
Yeah.
It'd be a decent match.
This is one of those ones where, like, unless something happens where he either gets injured or he basically tells someone that they're, you know, a dick for being gay or something like that, he should have this title. He should have the title for basically a year.
So you're picking Seth?
Yeah.
Interested.
AJ's kind of in that weird he's in that sort of weird...
Heel but not kind of.
Well, no, it's not even that. He's kind of in that weird, like, middle ground where they probably don't know what to do with him at the minute.
I think it's too soon to give him the Universal title, but they're going to need to do something meaningful with him soon. And they can't drop him to have the feud with Samoa Joe because they're just going to rerun what they did on SmackDown but with a different title.
Right, hang on. Joe's on Raw
Yep,
as the US title. Yeah, because Balor got drafted to
correct.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Good one.
So,
But as we know, with the wildcard rule, that could be fuck off.
yeah, I wouldn't surprise me with this whole wildcard thing if they just end up completely squashing the brand splits.
I imagine they probably will. Once SmackDown gets onto Fox, they'll just give up because they always do with it. They try it, it doesn't work how they want it to work, so they just start playing around with the rules and stuff like that, and then it all just goes to shit.
Universal title match, James. Have you heard of Seth Rollins?
Yep.
Have you heard of AJ Styles?
No. I think you know what the answer is.
So he's going
AJ
Seth Rollins.
Styles, yeah!
Andy? Seth Rollins, AJ Styles for the Universal title.
But again, they've both got tattoos.
Is it easier to say which wrestler hasn't got tattoos?
No. Because they pretty much all have.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But therefore you can't say that they haven't got tattoos because they all have.
No, John Cena doesn't have any. Triple H doesn't have any that I'm aware of.
On his bottom.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's probably got an ankle chain tattooed on from Steph. But
AJ.
ooh, he's going for a
To
change.
win the belt or to win the match?
We're going on the match.
Going on the match.
Alright.
I'll do what?
That leaves us.
Is it not letting you order?
Just updated my profile and it's literally just put Sam's address back in it.
That leaves us with the women's title matches and the Money in the Bank. So let's start with the SmackDown women's title match.
Yes.
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair.
Man's going to be well upset.
Doesn't really make sense for Becky to lose the title at this point.
So
Never heard you say that before.
Yeah, I mean it's this. Although
you go.
it's the absolute classic Vince move.
Oh, yeah.
People don't really like Charlotte, but
He
I
does.
really like Charlotte. So
And it's
I've
his,
got an awful lot of money in my pocket, and I don't care
and it's his company.
what
And
other
do
people
what he
think,
wants.
so I'll
Damn it.
fucking do what I want. But yeah, Becky.
It's my company and I'll... What?
I honestly think they've got to be careful with this as well, because I imagine she'll be one of those two matches will start the show.
Yeah.
Because they need to give her as much time for recovery as possible.
This is where I'm going to skip ahead slightly for mine. Because
To the end.
I think
She's losing one of them.
I think she'll lose one of them. However,
You don't think it's this one?
Charlotte is safely on SmackDown. She's going to be on SmackDown because Fox will want her on SmackDown. She's a big name in the women's division. Raw needs somebody to fill the gap in the meantime whilst that happens. I think she will possibly retain the SmackDown women's title, but the Money in the Bank will come into play between now and October. So I therefore think that the winner of the women's Money in the Bank is going to come from the SmackDown side of things.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going with that for now. So yeah, Becky to retain in this match for me. Andy?
Sometimes I don't think I should make my pick after you, because I was like Charlotte Flair all the way on this one. But what you've said there makes sense.
Yeah, but you always fall into this trap. Basically, because I'm blowing our own trumpets here, but because we talk a lot of sense in storyline mode, you get swayed by a lot of the things that we say because it makes a lot of sense for what they could do then in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they're
Bigger
not
picture.
thinking in 6 months'
No,
time.
they're
They're
not.
thinking
They're thinking
week
with their asses.
to week. And
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. They
absolutely.
really are.
Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Again, it wouldn't surprise me if she did. A lot of people would just turn off. I honestly think it's one of those ones where if they do, they're going to lose part of the audience. People are just going to go, fuck it, I'll give AEW my business, my time.
James. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair.
Becky Lynch.
Okay.
He knows the rules. Sensible boy.
Can you just pop that light on for me? Because I have a fear we might be losing some light.
Hello again,
So open
everyone.
that jumpy up to pop the curtains open.
So, we've got
Those long lights on.
the other women's title match. Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans. For me, Becky still retains this one as well. I'd actually genuinely like to see Lacey Evans win.
I think she will win
Lacey or Becky,
Lacey
right?
by DQ.
So you're still going Lacey win.
It's too soon. It's too soon for her to have the title.
Where are you going with this one then, Andy?
Becky.
With Becky as well.
Because I think losing one and retaining one makes a lot of sense. And I've gone with Charlotte on the other one.
Yeah.
So.
I would agree with that. My thing with it, I've got Becky to retain both. like I say, I think the Money in the Bank will come into play at some point for the SmackDown Women's title, but it's been all the odds are stacked against her. She can't possibly come out of the show with both belts. They've also just made a T-shirt with Becky 2 belts on it. So the cynic in me is going with Becky for both.
Have they ever done that where they've made a T? Oh, they did it with Jericho and Styles. They brought out the Y2AJ T-shirt.
Yeah.
The very same night that Jericho turned on him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So they've got previous for making a shirt and then just having absolutely like no plans in like.
It's like the stories of like when the teams go to the Super Bowl, they print all of both teams winning stuff, so T-shirts and stuff like that, and then whichever team doesn't win, all of the stuff gets donated to charity. So there'll be like kids in Africa running around with like whichever team lost in the Super Bowl T-shirt, winners T-shirts on.
Hey, it'll be if there's plenty of stuff like that going, there'll be loads of Liverpool Premier League winners merchandise just going.
I have a feeling we might come to this gentleman later on in the evening.
Very much going to be exciting.
On the same theory, James, I'm guessing you're going to pick Becky Lynch over Lacey Evans.
Wait, she's got 2 matches.
Yeah,
2 belts.
She's Becky 2 belts.
2 belts.
So she's got 2 matches.
Oh,
Because she's
okay.
the fucking bomb.
Yeah, then, yeah.
Becky as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to pick
Standard.
Which-
Lacey, are you?
No, not her.
Not him.
Which leads us on to the main events, if you will. The Money in the Bank matches.
Right.
As we've just
Give us a rundown of the participants.
As we've just discussed the women's, we'll go with the women's first. So, the people in the match: Ember Moon,
I know her.
Mandy Rose,
I know her.
Dana Brooke,
I know her.
Alexa Bliss,
I'm going to stop doing this now.
Bayley, Natalia, Naomi, and former 2-time Money in the Bank winner, Carmella.
I mean, that's a bit of an over exaggeration.
It's in the history books.
So the very first ever
How can
women's Money in the Bank match was won by a man, technically.
a man unhooked the case?
A man
and
unhooked
passed
the
it to
briefcase
her?
and dropped it down to her. To which everyone was like, bullshit! So they basically had the match again the week after on SmackDown.
Got something.
Unbelievable.
So
I do like the fact that they're doing both into brand.
yeah,
Because they didn't do that last year.
this is how it should be though.
Yeah,
if they're going to do
absolutely.
it, 4 of each, off you go.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you going with this one?
I have gone first on all of these. I'm gonna say
I'll go
until
first.
last.
Okay. Do you want me to read the names out again?
Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to say. I just didn't hear the first couple.
Ember Moon, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Natalia, Naomi, Carmella.
Right. Am I just going to make a proper tit of myself by going for the one that I've heard of before, which I think I've heard of before? Bayley.
Nothing wrong with that,
No,
Bayley.
nothing wrong with that at all.
She's a big name.
That's right. Yeah.
She's absolutely not winning the money in the bank.
Is she not?
But this is the man who predicts, Middlesbrough would have to do terribly in the next for them not to make the playoffs.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
What was the other
Too
one? There was
soon,
something on this week. Something about Liverpool definitely wouldn't qualify. Yeah, it's just.
Who the fuck is this guy? Who invited this Moped?
So based on Paul's previous, Bailey is now definitely winning the money.
Bailey is absolutely categorically not winning the Money in the Bank contract.
Why? Explain it to me.
She's just nowhere in the card.
But that's every reason to give her that. Money in the Bank should be used to boost somebody's standards.
She's not winning it though, is she?
Well, at this point then, let me make my pick because you'll think I'm insane, I think.
Go on.
So, I spoke before, I think that somebody from the SmackDown side of things is going to be winning this title.
Mm-hmm.
My pick for the women's Money in the Bank, Mandy Rose. Go on, Paul. Say it. Waiting for it.
Andrew?
I've been watching a lot of Sopranos recently, so put me down for Carmella.
Excellent.
Okay then, that leaves...
So for me, it's between 2 people.
well, it's between 8. Go on.
Or
Is it
one,
between
'cause you need to
Bayley
pick
and
one.
Carmella?
It's not between Bailey and Carmella.
Is it between Mandy Rose and someone else?
It is.
Whoa! I did not expect him to agree with me.
So I think it's either going to be Mandy Rose. It'll either be Mandy Rose, or for some reason I've got this weird feeling about Dana Brooke. Oh, Leeds have just scored.
Oh, why am I not watching
It's gone.
this?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I've got this weird feeling for Dana Brooke. Not in the pants region. Just like to say.
Why,
So
she's not a hottie.
She's alright.
I'm gonna push you for a decision though.
Just large breasts. What?
I'm gonna push you for a decision.
Well, bear in mind, I thought Mandy was going to win
The battle royal.
the tag titles
Oh,
with
right.
Sonya Deville, so stick me down for Mandy.
Ooh, you have then agreed.
Mm.
Very strange. One more to go.
Men's.
The men's.
MITB.
Right. I'll do the same again, James. So I'll read out the participants, and then you can pick one first.
Okay.
So we have Andrade, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn this week replacing Braun Strowman, Paul's favourite wrestler ever, Baron Corbin, Ali,
His favourite wrestler ever.
and Randy Orton.
Randy.
Am I supposed to fall into the trap of just saying Randy Orton here?
Stranger things have happened.
Finn Balor.
Okay.
Ooh.
Both of my picks straight off the bat.
Spicy little monkey.
I was like, Finn Balor went right up until he went Randy Orton. I was like, shit. Right, well, I'll go with the other one then.
Randy
I'll go
Orton.
Randy
You're
Orton.
going
You going Randall?
Out of nowhere.
Randall.
See, to me, who doesn't follow wrestling, he's clearly the biggest name in all those ones you said.
Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to
That's
agree
why
with
I feel like it's a trap.
that. Do you want
to
to go
say
with
that
yours,
one.
or do you want me to go with mine?
Well, you went last time, so I'll go last this time.
Excellent. There's only really one person it can be for me. They have to start building him. McIntyre.
Okie dokie. Whilst I would agree with that sentiment,
You're not picking him.
I am not picking him.
Stu is picking the man he's about to pick.
Andrade for me.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Money in the Bank works better when heels win the case because it is ultimately a dick move to be
Yeah.
like,
Drew McIntyre.
yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong with that, but
Good. Dick.
it has to be
You're
for
wrong.
me a bad guy or a bad girl
Oh my god.
winning it. So, what's to say that Zelina Vega is not going to help?
True. Just dawned on me.
Andrade seems to be getting a bit of a push. I think
Yeah.
it would make sense for him.
Makes
to have
sense.
it.
It's just dawned on me. It would kind of make sense for Zayn to win it, really, because then it just gives him
Yeah.
something else to sort of like keep having a go at the fans with.
Oddly enough, I'm not just saying this because you said that. He was my second choice
Mm.
because he's been coming out laying into the fans left, right, and center.
Mhm.
He's only just started wrestling again in the last couple of weeks after making his return. But his whole thing is, I'm not here for your enjoyment, and I don't. He's basically saying he's there to pay the bills, is what I got from it,
Mhm.
and that he enjoys his time away from the company much more. So if he can hold something to ransom, that would kind of fit with the character. But I'm still picking Andrade. Okay. So, Mr. Moore's predictions aside, which will be sent in separately, that
Live
is
by satellite.
that is the predictions locked in for Money in the Bank. We've done a little bit on Super Strong Style 16. Any other business, gents?
Well, I'm sure there's only really one last piece of business. Because we covered the Bray Wyatt stuff and what's anything else? Right.
Is it time?
It's probably going to be quiz time, isn't it? Oh,
You're
be
going to play along.
able to get rid of one of my 2 unread emails. Are you sure we didn't?
I suppose
How
we'll
many
know.
questions? You'll have it written down, right? How many questions?
I think we did it in blocks of 10, and I only remember doing 2.
I have a horrible feeling there was 20.
Oh,
I
James.
No.
Before,
Pass that to James so he can do
you
the
know,
quiz.
do you remember that thing that I was talking to you about earlier on,
That was
Andy?
James,
Oh, James.
About the thing for Paul?
Mm.
Is it worth bringing that in now? Because it might be something we can use in the next part of the show.
Thing for Paul.
Yeah, the brown envelope thing.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
do it.
So, as it is a certain Mr. Williams' birthday at some point between now and the next couple of weeks, and I will not see him, I brought this. You can open it now.
Okay.
And then must show things to the cameras.
This feels thick.
That's what she said.
Ew.
I mean, not.
I mean, it's not great audio, I'll gather Paul opening an envelope, but you know, stick with the peeps. Look at his face, look at his little face already. So there are also things inside that card, one of which you'll be able to use in the quiz if you so wish, and therefore on the podcast going forward.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That was like shiny.
It says Ginge.
And just in case you forget, there is a little badge for you to wear
A
as
massive
well.
thank you from all of us. Your order was packed by Jay. This isn't fancy dress. I really am ginger.
You heard it, people. They finally admitted it. So you've got a brand new podcast pen, Paul. I thought you might like that.
Oh my
Podcast
god.
pen.
Excellent. Amazing. Thank you very much.
So yeah. So on to the quiz.
Oh dear.
How many questions we got?
So it'll just be 10.
Cool.
Uh,
In the current standings, James, just say me and Paul are locked at 2-2 at the moment.
Wow. He's not so dominant at this one then.
Give it time.
It's fighting talk.
Has he told you how many he won by in the football quiz last week?
I'm
Not on the podcast because I meant the one down the pub.
no.
Did you miss the first round as well?
I missed the
It was-
first
it was
three questions.
So,
Are people not like in the pub looking at you like dickhead?
well, one thing.
There were during one round where I got every single question right quickest, and it was just my music that was played for the entire round.
Even Phil said
Have you
it,
been
like,
doing
it
that?
gets really boring when.
You've been doing it on your own?
Well, this week. Normally we do it together. But his dad couldn't come. He was late, so I showed up and played on my own for a little bit. And Phil was like, "There's only like 3 teams here, so Paul can play on his own when he gets here as well." I was like, fair enough.
No.
So he roped in like some bar staff just to play, and she managed to get a question right about Rain Rooney's hair transplant or something. But anyway, yeah. So just to put it in context, they got maybe like 120. Next best team did like 160. Then the next team's done like 180. I've done 199 and come second. He's done 346. I'm turning up late.
You're just going to kneecap him next time.
Oh, you're gonna get lynched.
He's only going to do it one more time.
They're gonna take you outside. And
Does he just do it during the season?
No, he does it. It's the second Thursday of every month, but the last couple have been a bit woefully attended. So he's going to give it one more go.
He's a bit
So
upset
if
'cause
you're interested, I'll let you know the times and stuff like that. And if you fancy coming across for it,
If it fits, then yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
It's a good laugh.
it is a good laugh.
I don't have to play on my own though, do I?
Well,
Wow.
I found it more fun playing on my own against Paul. And I was quietly surprised that I came second. Honestly.
I'm assuming because there were other people involved that you're not adding that to the official You Can't See the Forest for the T's quiz like ranking.
No, but probably shouldn't, should we really?
No, but
Because then it's just going to get embarrassing.
So in
James.
one round, Phil picks specific questions. Like, so there's like first round, second round, and fourth round. The third round is like a specific category within football. So this week he said he's been a bit lazy.
Shin pads.
So no, he picked Championship football grounds and Sky Sports presenters.
Oh dear.
Could he have played for him anymore?
That might have just happened to be the round where I got everyone right and the quickest.
Couldn't he
and
have
he just
played?
goes, 3 teams got it wrong, 1 team got it right, and the fastest. And he was like, I don't even need to be playing this really, do I?
I don't know if they were necessarily consecutive questions, but they might have only been one in between. There's one point where he shows a picture of Reading's ground, and he's like
His old place of work.
So he's like, yeah, I went to uni in Reading. Feels like whatever. Next picture, it's one of those like little caricature models, Stuart Downing. She got that one. I was like, yeah, he's a Borough fan.
Jesus.
Like, he literally just kept playing to your strokes constantly.
Yeah, but as we discussed, you shafted me one week. Like, very first question at the quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always C. Can we just go for it this week? It's always C. Fine, James, I'll let you do it. Press C as soon as he starts the question. Which North East club lost both cup finals and was relegated in the 96-97 season? Was it A, Middlesbrough? You fucking wanker.
Well, hopefully the quiz will go slightly better for me and James right now as opposed to yourself. But we shall see.
We'll see what happens.
I'm going to get... Is it multiple choice, Andy?
It is. Are you playing along?
Don't show me the camera.
Don't show me the camera!
Are you playing along as we go, Andy, as well?
No, I've
got
the answers. Right, okay.
I'm afraid. So, question number 1 of 10. This is still a Royal Rumble quiz from
Excellent.
the Royal Rumble. We're still plugging away at it. It was lengthy.
The most recent Royal Rumble.
It was questions.
No.
just based around the Royal
It's just
Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's like playing charity.
like
You
the
might have some
hardest-
old
Yeah.
wrestling
It's
stuff.
the hardest Royal Rumble quiz you can do.
You might feel that this Royal Rumble quiz has lasted a while, but technically Curtis Axel's still in the Royal Rumble from like 3 years ago, so...
The trains are off!
Question 1. How quickly after entering the ring did Goldberg eliminate Brock Lesnar in 2017? Was it A, 11 seconds, B, 22 seconds, C, 33 seconds,
Let's see where this is.
or D, 44 seconds?
I know what James has put based on his theories.
I've heard of those times.
No, I meant pick C for the first question.
C, Shelley. Question 2.
Oh, did we tell you that he got burnt by that? And that it wasn't C.
Old Man Williams has failed.
His tried and trusted
No.
technique of getting it wrong but getting it right
Failed.
failed.
Bless. Who
He's had a
did
good run, though.
Yes.
Oscar eliminate to win the women's Royal...
Asuka. A-S-U-K-A.
Yeah.
Asuka.
To win the women's Royal Rumble match last year? Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Sasha Banks, Trish Stratus.
That's a little bit of stratisfaction right there.
Number 3. Who were the first team to work together to score an elimination in Rumble history?
Jesus.
Demolition, the Hart Foundation, the Bushwhackers, the Mega Powers.
Complete guess time.
Apollo special. 24. Number 4. What hashtag trended worldwide following the 2015 Royal Rumble? Hashtag give Brian a chance.
Let's see where this is going.
Hashtag cancel WWE Network. Hashtag screw Vince McMahon. Or hashtag Daniel Bryan. Question number 5. Who holds the record for most Rumble appearances without getting an elimination?
Ooh.
What was that, sorry?
Who holds the record for the most Rumble appearances without getting an elimination?
That's a good question.
Titus O'Neil, Gold Dust, Heath Slater, or Matt Bloom? Question number 6. This question reminded me of the one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
That video I sent you. The Mayor of Knox County.
Oh my god.
I've seen this. Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
We'll discuss it at the end.
Question 6. Which of these men didn't Kane eliminate in 2001? Val Venus, The Rock, Crash Holly, Taz. Question 7. How many times has someone won the Royal Rumble in their first appearance? 7, 9, 11, or 13? James, you're up.
Say that again.
How many times has someone won the Royal Rumble in their first appearance?
So their debut Rumble.
Yeah.
7, 9, 11 or 13?
There's only been like 30 odd of them on there, so
Question 8. I'll catch James up if he wants to catch up. Kofi Kingston and one other superstar have been in 11 consecutive Rumbles. Name him. Was it Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sheamus, or Bray Wyatt?
Okay, so across K now.
yeah, I just did the exact same thing. So what was the answers again, please?
Kofi Kingston and one other superstar have been in 11 consecutive Rumbles. Name him. Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt. Question number 9. Who was the first participant confirmed for the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble match? Was it Seth Rollins, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, or R-Truth? If you want to do the last one, and then I'll catch you up on the middle one. And 10th and final. How many times has the Royal Rumble winner lost at WrestleMania?
This is where he goes into overdrive now, because he'll know.
7, 9, 11 or 13? How many questions?
Just need 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Kofi Kingston and one other superstar have been in 11 consecutive Rumbles. Name him. Was it Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sheamus, or Bray Wyatt?
Could you possibly repeat the answers for number 4 as well?
I will do. And number 9. Who was the first participant confirmed for the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble match? Seth Rollins, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, or R-Truth? You would like question 4?
It was the hashtags one. Yeah.
Do you want the hashtags?
Yes, please. And it was the 2015 Rumble one. So.
Which hashtag trended worldwide following the 2015 Royal Rumble? Hashtag give Brian a chance. Hashtag cancel WWE Network. Hashtag screw Vince McMahon. Or hashtag Daniel Bryan.
Changing my answer.
Anybody want anything repeating? Any of that?
I'm still
again?
working out the last one.
Oh, you see, it's multiple choice, so I just guessed at 1 of the 4, pretty much like all the others.
As you would.
I'm thinking, I don't know the exact number, but it might be around this one. Let's go with that.
There's no bonus points for naming
It's
them all,
answer time. Here we go. Number 1. How quickly after entering the ring did Goldberg eliminate Brock Lesnar in 2017?
I went C, which would have been
33
seconds.
I went A, 11 seconds.
Split the difference, boys. It's 22
Yeah.
seconds. Who did Oscar
Asuka.
eliminate to win the Women's Royal Rumble match last year?
Nikki Bella.
I just put the letters, so you'll have to tell me what letter that was.
That was A, I think.
I did not put that.
Okay. Who were the first teams to work together to score an elimination in Rumble history?
Demolition?
I went the Mega Powers just because.
I think I went B, Heart Foundation.
Well done, James. Get yourself a point.
Hey!
He's drawn level.
So the hashtag was.
I went for Screw Vince.
I've put Daniel Bryan, but I'm now starting to think it might have been cancelled WWE Network.
I went with just his name, the 4th one.
You should have gone with the one that you thought it was. Cancel WWE Network.
I was trying to think, because it wasn't going to be Daniel Bryan, because that probably would have been 2014 when people were really naffed off that he didn't win.
But he was in the 2015 one.
Yeah.
Who holds the record for most Rumble appearances without getting an elimination?
Slater.
Heath Slater?
What letter was that?
No idea.
That was C.
Did not put that.
What did you put?
A.
Titus O'Neil?
Matt Bloom.
Oh, I always put him as well.
That's probably because he's been in it under different guises, hasn't he?
Number 6. Which of these men didn't Kane eliminate in 2001?
The Rock?
I went Taz.
I went The Rock.
Val Venus.
I don't know if The Rock got eliminated by Stone Cold.
How many times has someone won the Royal Rumble in their first appearance?
7?
9.
I went with C. Was that 11?
Has he got it right again?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's going to end up winning this.
Win.
I've only got one so
Me
far.
too.
Number 8. Kofi Kingston and one other superstar have been in 11 consecutive Rumbles. Name him.
Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler.
What letter was that?
A.
Didn't put that.
Should have done. Ziggler.
We're going to have a 3-way tie here at the end.
Who was the first participant confirmed for the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble match?
I don't know why I feel confident.
Oh,
about
Darby have scored. Seth Rollins.
I've confidently put Drew McIntyre before you'd finished talking.
I've put whoever B was.
John Cena. And that would make everybody wrong. True.
Ball sacks is because he won the
So it's
mixed
all
match
on the
challenge.
last. It's
he
all on the
didn't
last
declare
question
then.
at this point.
We've all got
2.
2.
How many times has the Royal Rumble winner lost
Right, I tried to work this out,
at WrestleMania?
but I started getting real confused because I was like, before it became that the Royal Rumble winner got an automatic title shot, there were still people who might have won the Rumble and then lost at WrestleMania.
That's true.
So I ended up losing count and went for 13, which I don't even know was an option.
I went 9.
I went 11.
James has won the quiz.
Was it 11?
It was 11. That's fucking brilliant.
So you got 3.
I got 3.
Well done, James.
2 on 10.
With a winning score of 3.
So hang on.
That begs the question
And
then.
it does transfer over to the football.
No, it doesn't.
So just,
No, it
just
doesn't.
notch him one up for...
So if me and Paul are at 2-2 in the standings and we've got 2 each this time round, do we still need a tiebreaker for the...
Well, just because
For the-
of our
for the-
standings,
for the
Paul
side
2,
pot, as
Stu
it
2,
were.
James 1.
do you want a tiebreaker?
Can do. Potentially would have to be closest to pin.
Do you know where the wrestling is this week?
It's in... what, as in where Raw's been or where the Money in the Bank's going to be?
Oh, yeah. Where's Money in the Bank going to be?
It's in the XL Centre at Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh god, he's going to do a fucking get a 10
Maximum capacity.
capacity question. Oh god. I'm assuming you just left all that deliciousness on the side
After the front door steps.
for the cats to get at.
They're just going to lick yours and put it back
Gentlemen,
on.
Standard.
are you in on this or are you not?
He doesn't care, he's won.
Gentlemen,
I'll have a go just to see if I
Oh
can
yeah,
get
because he can win that as well.
Yeah.
XL Centre, Hartford.
Connecticut.
Can you please tell me the capacity of the venue? Go.
This is just going to be full capacity though, and it's not going to be just set up for wrestling. This could be hard.
What's its primary function?
Concerts, I'd imagine.
So it's not a sports stadium.
Oh no, maybe it is. Well, there isn't a sports team in Connecticut, is there? That's a big one.
Okay,
I'll tell you something, I kept getting confused in the
put a
football
number.
earlier because Jack Marriott looks just like Ross McCormack. I was like, is he back?
I've put a number.
How did you want me to do this last time? I got it wrong last time. I hadn't,
What do you mean?
because I was like,
No, we just wanted the excitement of us knowing before you knew, so you had to give us the answer.
I don't know if
But
you heard
we can all go in.
the tiebreaker. It was the New York Stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we were both miles
miles
out.
out, man.
Because then didn't somebody say, do you mean Rotherham's or an actual stadium in New
In
York?
New York.
Go on then. I'll go out there first with mine because it's.
Go on.
I've got no idea. It might be ridiculous. I've gone 32,000.
Jesus Christ, it's an arena!
I didn't know that, did I?
I've gone on the assumption that it's just giving you the venue's capacity.
Unfortunately, there is a full capacity, but then it's given different capacities for different
Which one are you
things.
going with? Because that
I'm
might
going full.
full capacity.
Oh,
Okay. That might change this then.
Yeah, see, I went full capacity.
I've gone-
No changing.
24,614.
It's very specific.
as it's an arena, I don't think they're as big as people think. So I've gone 16,746.
Fuck's sake. 16,294.
Seriously, man, arenas aren't as big as you think. They're certainly not as big as...
At the point when I put mine down, I didn't even know
stadium.
it wasn't an arena. It could have been a bloody baseball stadium for all I know.
So that officially makes
for
Paul,
baseball, it would have been a good match.
officially makes Paul 3-2 ahead on a technicality.
Yeah.
Surely, if they just...
Can we deduct points because he was wrong about the sports teams?
No, you can fuck off.
What, there's no sports team?
The Hartford Wolfpack.
They're not
Yukon Huskies men.
Yeah, they're not a professional sports team, though. Huskies men. Sounds like a...
So,
fruity
did
team.
Andy want to briefly mention
Yeah.
the Mayor of
So,
Knox County? James, you might quite enjoy this because you'll know who he is.
Cruising the internet, mostly in the YouTube vicinity, and I saw a thing that was like the mayor of Knox County slams a guy through a table. I'm like, what? So I looked at it a bit closer, and there was a bit more. I was like, all right.
Is
So
it an ex-wrestler or something?
I clicked on it. It said current. I clicked on it, and Kane.
Oh, do you know? This doesn't even sound unfamiliar. This story now you've mentioned it. To
Is
me.
the mayor of Knox County, and he is addressing the constituents or whatever you want to say at a podium.
His minions.
And then there's like on camera, there's like a guy sort of on the edge, and he's just sort of like talking away, like what he's going to deliver to the people and stuff. And then he just turns, he's like, yeah, buddy, in a minute, I'm just finishing up. So he carries on talking, and then this guy like gets up on the stage, and he's got like a mic on and stuff, and he's like, you need to wrap up. And he's like, yeah, I'm just finishing up. He's like, yeah, you need to do it now. And he's like, do you know who I am?
Picked him up by the throat and just.
He goes, do you know who I am? He's like, well, you're the mayor of Knox County. He's like, yeah, but that's not all I am. Goes under the podium, picks up a bag.
No, but right, so this as that's going on, as he goes to reach for the bag, his music starts playing.
Goes in the bag.
So this is completely
And the
set
li-
up.
and the lights go red as well.
Yeah, goes in the bag, pulls his mask out. Mask goes on.
complete
The
win-win.
lights go red.
He's still in his
music
suit
on.
or whatever.
Yeah.
at this point.
Grabs the guy by the throat, picks him up and slams him through a table.
By the way, the guy clearly some sort of independent wrestler because he was jacked as fuck.
Turns round, takes the mask off. The lights all change. The music
Just
starts. He puts the
carries
mask
on.
back in the bag, and he's like, "So that's some of the things that I'll be able to deliver." Well, not for everyone. And the video ends, and I was like, "Yes, more of that, please."
He's done some really good promo stuff of late for the mayor thing. Did you see the thing from obviously Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
Oh yeah.
So he went to the local county fair and took part in one of the dunk tank things, where they sit on the seat and chuck baseballs at it. And he had a T-shirt and it said, "You can't Cinco this mayor." Puntastic.
Wordplay.
I think we're not going to get anything better to finish on than that, to be honest with you. So thank you one and all for joining us once again at our ramble and wander.
Hit us up with your predictions.
Yes, absolutely. James might even win the prediction.
I'm feeling good after the.
If he's winning the quiz, he's probably going to win the predictions.
And if he wins the quiz and the predictions, you automatically get to
yeah, you have
do
to be a
this
regular
next time.
guest.
Get a seat. We have to add a seat to the side of the sofa.
So yes,
If he'd have known that before, it's like, who's going to win the Money in the Bank match?
yeah,
Hogan, definitely Hogan.
Ultimates.
Too soon, man.
Too soon?
Too soon, man.
I bet
I bet you still see it, don't you?
Double tap.
And on that note, ladies and
On
gentlemen,
that bombshell, yes. Thank you once
Fuck
again.
a lot of war.
And au revoir.
bye.
I didn't actually look at what you'd ordered, but there's 2 massive pizzas.
Excellent. That was a
and
bonus.
A bag full of food.
Who do I owe money to, and can I submit it electronically?
It'll be that.
So there you go. What do you think to that? Another one in the bag. Who do you think is going to be winning these matches? Let us know by using our social media feeds or our email functions. You can find all of those at thecookiecast.com, so jump over there and have a look at those. If you're a YouTube watcher, make sure you're a YouTube subscriber, so that way you get all the upcoming episodes of things. So yeah, there'll no doubt be a review of Money in the Bank, and I'm sure we'll be previewing the next wrestling event. So yeah, check that one out. Tune in next time to see what we've got going on there, but until then, I'll say goodbye.